Seterusnya, kita menjemput peserta kita yang kelima iaitu saudara ZIKREY ZUFAIRY bin Abdul Halim, pelajar tingkatan 4 Sekolah Menengah Sains Alam SHAH Kuala Lumpur yang akan menyampaikan topik yang telah dipilih. Dipersilakan.
Thank you very much to the host. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good day I bid to everyone here today. Ladies and gentlemen, have you come to realize that the Gardenia Quick Bites no longer cost 1 ringgit anymore? Rather, it now costs 1 ringgit and 20 cents. See, why am I exaggerating over an increase of 20 cents? It's just a little, right? But you see, my parents only give me a monthly allowance for school, which is 30 ringgit. And every day, I would just use 1 ringgit only to buy myself 1 gardenia bread. That allowance should be enough for the entire month. But ever since that price change, 1 ringgit and 20 cents, I could only afford to go for 25 days continuously. And for the remaining 5 days, I couldn't afford for any food during recess. And I could just starve. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm sharing with you my problem here is because it is concrete evidence that our society is facing through high cost of living, and it is a good way to represent the struggles that we are all facing together. Now, before I move on, greetings again. I meet to everyone here, good judges, teachers, and also friends here. My name is ZIKREY ZUFAIRY, and I will take the honor of sharing to you my symposium topic under the contention cost of living issues, global impacts, and solutions. Now, before we head into the solutions and impacts, let's first have a proper understanding what cost of living really is and the current issues that we are currently facing. Cost of living. When we ask ourselves, what is cost of living? Cost of living can be defined as the amount of money required to cover your basic needs in your everyday life. This includes food, clothing, shelter. All of this is the things that you need every day. And the thing is, we're not born in a world where everything is free. Everything comes with a price. So when you're trying to get your hands onto these essential items, you need money. And the amount of money that you require, that is what we call cost of living today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the status quo that we have is that people are saying and claiming that the cost of living is high. Now, when I heard this, is this really true? After some research, I found 3 reasons to support my evidence, to make that not a myth but a reality. Number 1, I can see that my gardenia is now 1 ringgit 20 cents, has increased price. The price increase right there of goods and products right there. Number 2, the International Monetary Fund indicated last year only the consumer price index increased for a total of 8%. Now, this is really worrying and really shocking considering to the fact that in the past 5 years, we have averaged at 2.4 annual increase. Never has it been in 1 year 8%. So this is concrete proof that we are having a high cost of living right now. And when I see this data, the first thought to myself, what is causing this? That comes to my third point, inflation, ladies and gentlemen. Inflation is a really complex topic, but to give you the gist of it, it is something where a price of goods increase over a period of time due to the supply and demand of goods. We see that this inflation is causing price of goods to increase. In the year 2022, right after recovering the pandemic of COVID-19, we are trying to still carry out exports and imports, here deals and there, buy businesses here and there, where the money circulation is really frequent, and that could lead to be the reason why there is an 8% increase in the year 2022. Now, we have understand what cost of living is and the examples of issues that we are all facing together in the world. The question is, how does it impact the people? The first thought that came to my mind was people are now suffering through high poverty rates. People are falling down the poverty line. Now, first, what is poverty, ladies and gentlemen? Is it just the absence of money, the lack of money of an individual? No, it is the deprivation of an individual upon basic necessities. This includes, number 1, products such as food, clothing, shelter, and number two, the basic infrastructure such as education and healthcare. The thing is, if you don't have proper access to either one or even both, I'm sorry, but you have fallen under the poverty line. And the poverty has been increasing ever since, as stated by the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, many countries are still facing major challenges and it is yet unsolved. Due to what? Due to the high cost of living that is still on the rise. Now, we have understand that, okay, this is the impact to the people. People are now going poverty. People are unable to afford food for not just themselves, but their families, their children. To an extent, their health is being affected. We see morbidity is increasing. The World Health Organization indicates that children are now facing stunted growth and wasting amongst them. And the worst case scenario, in the South Africa region, we see many mortalities of young lives. And this is the saddening part, as stated by the World Health Organization. So drastic measures must be taken today. Now, the question is, what is a way that we can actually help to help people in poverty? One solution that I got from my research is the fiscal policy, as stated. You see, the fiscal policy involves the government intervention. They have to play their role. The government role is to implement policies in assuring that the economy of their nation is stable so that there is no rapid inflation. As I mentioned before, due to the inflation, there's an increase in price of goods. But you have to also realize the salary of individuals, they're not keeping up. The price of goods is skyrocketing way faster than their salary, causing people to not keep up with the price of goods, and they cannot afford to buy their necessities. So what can the government do? Number one, fiscal policy. They can impose policies such as subsidies, price controls, taxes, overnight policy rates. These kind of policies, they influence the money circulation in the nation, causing them to slow down and give the economy a breather. That way, we can reduce the amount of demand and increase the amount of supply, causing the price of goods to actually slow down the increase rate and allowing the people to finally catch up with the price of goods. Because as I mentioned before, their salary isn't that high. It isn't increasing at the same rate of price of goods. So having these policies implemented, it can actually allow these citizens to catch up and finally afford the basic necessities such as food, education, etc. Now, another solution and a really interesting case study I've done is about the country Iceland. Now, what's unique about Iceland is that their country is one of the most countries with the least poverty rates in the world. And I asked to myself, what is the secret to their success? According to an article by the British Broadcasting Corporation, I see that their number one key to success is by developing social services. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, they are providing, you can see, Iceland are providing free education for schools and universities. It's free to attend for any citizen. Not just that, housing initiatives are given to those low-income families who are struggling to even get a proper shelter for themselves. And last but not least, free healthcare. That is, all of this is covered by the taxes of the people. And that's why there's proof that fiscal policy is one of the main leading factors, main successful factors into helping our economy here today. Now, to summarize things that has been stated so far, I wanted to quote by Aristotle, wealth is not evidently the good we are seeking. However, it is something useful and for the sake of something else. What's the point of having that much money where it is not used and utilized for the right purpose? You see, there are many lives out there endangered, especially the lives of young children. The future generation is then endangered. But with the help of not just the government, but also the citizens, we can play our part into ensuring that the cost of living for not just the nation, but the entire world improve better and make basic necessity items become affordable for the public. And all in all, I just want to say that my gardenia bread, hopefully I see a future where it can actually finally deflate the economy and drop back down to 1 ringgit, for I can buy every day and not starve during recess time. That is all from me, Sekolah Menengah Sains Alam Shah ZIKREY ZUFAIRY. Thank you very much.